Now, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the next session, the checklist for success. Herein we have the luminaries, the stalwarts of the industry who are going to be sharing with us their success mantra, their vision and mission towards transforming the cities, and especially Jo Nai Bharat Ki Tasveer, a very powerful presentation which has been made by Mr. Bala Subramaniam. What can be the important role of the real estate sector and of the developers towards that? We seek their guidance and their approach. Please join me as I invite here on the stage Mr. M.R. Jaishankar, the Executive Chairman, Brigade Group. Okay. I believe he's going to. Mr. Sushil Mohta, the Chairman, Merlin Group of Companies. A profound legacy spanning close to almost 4 decades. He stands as a stalwart in the industry. Mr. Sanjay State, starting from a very humble background in Lucknow, ladies and gentlemen, he has taken his brand Shalimar to rule the real estate market of Lucknow in a manner where his projects command almost 25% premium over other projects. He's also an ex-Rajya Sabha member. And we have Mr. Anand Singhania, the Vice President CREDAI, who is going to be moderating this session. A very reputed, respected developer operating in Raipur, adjoining areas also of Chhattisgarh, also into commercial development. He has developed 3 malls under his organization, Avinash Developers, and has also been the chapter chair of IPO of Raipur. So all over to our moderator, Mr. Singhania.
Thank you, Vimi. Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Very happy to see the house full today. We are amongst stalwarts of CREDAI with Mr. M.R. Jaishankar of Brigade Group, Bangalore, Mr. Sushil Mohta from Kolkata Merlin Group, and Mr. Sanjay Seth from Lucknow Shalimar Group. So I'll not take much of the time as a moderator. I'll try to be very brief and to the point, and we all would like to hear from the stalwarts for whom this session is being organized. As you know, the title of the session is Checklist for Success. Hum sab tier 2, 3 town developers, we are sitting here to get empowered, to get enlightened, and as Mr. Subramaniam said, to transform our businesses, to transform our mindset, to think ahead of time. हम कैसे अपने बिजनेस को आगे बढ़ा सकते हैं और इन स्टालवर्ड से सीख सकते हैं, जिनके रिच एक्सपीरियंस हम क्या सीख सकते हैं. ब्रिगेड ग्रुप के मिस्टर M.R. Jaishankar, who is into this business from 1986, past 37 years in Brigade Group. He started in 86 and with more than 275 projects, 80 million square foot of construction. He is here, and I just want to ask, sir, what is the mantra, how the journey was, and what you can share with all of us so that we can have some rich takeaways and we can be little in your path, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm very happy to be here, and thanks to Anand Jagdish for inviting me. Varanasi, I'm visiting after only 56 years. So it's, really wanted to be here and happy to come here. And, yes, I started business 37 years back, so it's a long story. But I mean, all of us, people who have assembled here are all successful people and successful in their businesses. But having said that, in my case, I can say I got into the business probably at the right time, in the right city, and continue to be in the right city and few other South Indian cities. It's been quite challenging, to say the least, but it's been a very, I would say, exciting and satisfying too, all these years. So, I would say without any second doubt, firstly, we have to have the grace of God, God's blessings, to succeed in anything. Secondly, a focused approach and nothing. Focused approach is very important, and nothing will be successful unless there is a lot of hard work. And to take the right amount of risk. Yes, you need to take risk in business, but you need to know which direction you're going. On a scale of 1 to 10, where do you want to be? The risk taking, if it is at 10, yes, you may you may succeed and do big money. At the same time, the chances of failure, if there is a failure, are you able to take the shock? So after all, profit itself, they say, it's a definition of profit is reward for risk taking. It's the reward you get based on the amount of risk you take. So the people who take 10 on 10 risk, they may be gambling a bit. People who take very low risk, they may be considered too conservative. But you need to probably decide the right amount of risk one is taking. I always, my father has always told me and taught me that you take enough risk as long as you're ready to pay for it and you're able to absorb the shock. You're able to absorb the shock, then you can take whatever risk one can do in business or in personal life. Apart from that, I think we have always done business based on our core values, what we call it as QC first. I'm sure many others may also be doing on the same basis. But we have defined our core values as QC first, Q standing for quality, C for customer centricity, F for fairness in whatever we do in our approach, I for innovation, being innovative as far as possible in real estate, and be responsible socially, which is important, which is what Dr. Balasubramaniam also mentioned. It is, ultimately we need to know that what we are doing is for the country, for the citizens and for the growth of the country. And lastly, T is for be trustworthy in your actions and in your dealings. So QC first is the basis on which we do business, and I personally credit our whatever success the Brigade Group has seen to these principles and dedication, and to take a reasonable amount of risk and not overdo it. Thank you.
So risk is one of the mantra he said, apart from customer centricity. Sir, any situation where you felt like it's a make or break situation for the company or for the career or for the business?
Certainly, I would say that happened in my very first project. For those who may not know, I am an agriculture graduate. I did my agriculture and was supposed to go back to my plantations. But life always takes a different turn. And I did start a small scale industry and in 1980, and in 1984 we had very serious industrial relations problem. So at that time the option was to go back to my coffee plantations or do something different in Bangalore, since I didn't want to go back to coffee plantations after starting an industry and learning the ropes and being in a cosmopolitan city like Bangalore. So I, with the family support, got into real estate. We identified a project, and that first project, today it may sound very small. It was a first 60-story building in Bangalore, and it was the tallest private sector building in Bangalore in 1986. Up to probably 1995, it was the tallest private sector building. And probably it is the first building, real estate building to be, commercial building to be sold on strata. Till then, there was nothing like strata sales in office in the city of Bangalore. And unlike most people here may have started a business with a residential project, but I started, my first 3 projects were all commercial projects, and all were strata sold.
That's wonderful. I'll come back to you again, sir. हमारे साथ शालीमार ग्रुप के संजय सेठ जी हैं और यूपी क्रेडाई के चेयरमैन हैं, बहुत एक्टिव सदस्य हैं, पूर्व राज्यसभा सदस्य रहे हैं ये, और अब अभी बीजेपी के बहुत एक्टिव पॉलिटिक्स में हैं. And before I ask any question or shoot any questions to Mr. Sanjay Seth, I request for a small video, if we can play of Mr. Sanjay Seth. Amazing work in city like Lucknow, such iconic buildings, such landmark projects. I think this is really great, संजय भाई. तो क्या मंत्र है सर? मैं सुनता हूँ जब भी मैं लखनऊ वालों से मुझे बात होती है, यूपी वालों से बात होती है, जैसे कि आप जो काम करते हैं उसमें जो हम कस्टमर सेंट्रिक एक बज़ वर्ड हो गया आजकल, बट ये आपके डीएनए में है. आपकी बिल्डिंग्स 20% मोर प्रीमियम कमांड करती है फ्रॉम द योर नियरेस्ट कॉम्पिटिटर. क्या है आपका सक्सेस मंत्र? हाउ यू डू दिस?
देखिए, सबसे पहले तो मैं यहाँ पे आए हुए सभी साथियों का स्वागत और अभिनंदन करता हूँ इस काशी की पावन धरती पे, क्योंकि मैं यूपी के क्रेडाई का चेयरमैन रहा हूँ. तो मैं आप सबका बहुत बहुत स्वागत करता हूँ कि आप यूपी में आए और आपने यहाँ पे आके हमारा सम्मान बढ़ाया. देखिए, ऐसा यहाँ पे जितने भी सीनियर्स हैं उन सबको देख देख के हमने काम किया है. तो वो तो उनके बताने के लिए तो वो सब सक्सेसफुल हैं और खूब अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, तो उनको बताने के लिए तो मेरे पास कोई चीज़ नहीं है. लेकिन जो यंगस्टर होता है, मैं उसके लिए अगर आपको बताऊं तो जब वो एक पढ़ाई ख़त्म करता है और पढ़ाई ख़त्म करने के बाद जब उसको काम करने के लिए उसके पास कोई दो तरीके के चीज़ें होती है, या तो वो अपनी फैमिली के बिजनेस को बढ़ाता है, उसमें ज्वाइन करता है, या एक वो होता है जिसके पास कोई इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नहीं है, कोई फाइनेंशियल बैकग्राउंड नहीं है और उसके अंदर एक आग है कि मुझे काम करना है, काम बढ़ाना है. मैं उस दूसरी कैटेगरी में था. चूँकि मेरे पास कुछ नहीं था तो मैं अपने बूते पे उस काम को बढ़ाना चाहता था. एक छोटा सा इंस्टेंस बताऊं, जब शुरुआत की बात करूं अगर मैं, तो कुछ नहीं था. एक किसी को मैंने बहुत कन्विंस किया जिसके पास एक बहुत छोटा सा प्लॉट था. तो मैंने उसको कन्विंस किया कि भाई देखिए, ऐसे मेरे पास पैसे नहीं है, लेकिन मैं आपके लिए पूरा मकान बना सकता हूँ, आपके लिए एक बंगला बनवा सकता हूँ जिसमें मैं मेहनत करूँगा, खुद उसको खड़े होकर बनवाऊँगा, और जो कमाई आपको हो उसमें एक कोई सर्टेन परसेंटेज मुझे दे दीजिएगा, मुझे ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं चाहिए, मेरी स्टैंडिंग शुरू हो जाएगी. और वो मेरी बात से कन्विंस हुए. तो उसके अंदर और ये काम हुआ, मुझे थोड़ी सी उसमें से पैसे भी बने. तो उसका आज मैं ये सोचता हूँ कि मैंने उस बंदे के साथ में उसको कन्विंस किया और उसके साथ में ईमानदारी बरती. तो जो सबसे ज़रूरी चीज़ है वो ईमानदारी है. अपने कस्टमर के साथ में, अपने साथी जिसकी लैंड पे आप जेवी कर रहे हैं उसके साथ में अगर आप ईमानदारी रखते हैं, आप उनके साथ में एक सच्चा व्यवहार करते हैं, तो आपका सक्सेस होने में कहीं कोई रुकावट नहीं आ सकती। धीमे धीमे करके जब आप आगे बढ़ते हैं तो आपके साथ में कुछ साथी जुड़ते हैं। उन साथियों में ऐसा होता है कि किसी के पास कोई ज़मीन होती है, किसी के पास कोई इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के चीज़ें होती हैं जिसको आप जोड़ते चलते हैं। दूसरी चीज़ ये होती है कि मेरे पास बहुत थोड़े पैसे इकट्ठा हुए तो मैंने किसी के साथ में मिलके एक जॉइंट काम किया जिसके अंदर कुछ टेनेंट्स थे और वो टेनेंट्स खाली नहीं हो रहे थे। तो मैंने उनसे कहा कि साहब ये काम मैं करूँगा, टेनेंट्स भी खाली कराऊंगा और इसको फिर डेवलप भी करूँगा, तो क्या आप तैयार हो जाएंगे? उन्होंने कहा हाँ साहब, टेनेंट्स का पैसा आप खर्च करेंगे तो मैं कर लूँगा। मैंने उनके साथ में ये काम किया, उन टेनेंट्स को खाली करवाया, उसके ऊपर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का काम किया, उसके अंदर बिल्डिंग बनाई और एक सक्सेसफुल बिल्डिंग बनी। तो दूसरी चीज़ ये कि रिस्क आपने उस लेवल का लिया जिस लेवल का रिस्क आप समझते थे कि आप पूरा कर सकते हैं। तो ये भी एक दूसरा एक बहुत बड़ा इशू है अपने यंगस्टर्स को बताने के लिए। तीसरा, जो एक आपका जब आप एक मकान बनाते हैं, तो मेरे फादर मदर जो थे वो एक लॉयर है मेरे फादर, तो उन्होंने उस वक़्त का समय देखा हुआ, आज से 35-40 साल पहले, जब बिल्डरों के नाम पे थोड़ा सा रिजर्वेशन होता था कि साहब बिल्डर हैं तो ये गलत कम्युनिटी के लोग हैं। तो मेरे फादर ने कहा भाई देखो ऐसा है, ये काम तो तुम कर रहे हो लेकिन थोड़ा सा इसके ऊपर ये ध्यान रखना कि इज्जत और हम लोगों का नाम ना खराब हो। मैं कहा आप बिल्कुल चिंता ना करिए, मैं कस्टमर को ध्यान में रख के काम करूँगा। जो सोच मेरी है कि आज मैं जिस घर में रहता हूँ मैं उससे बेटर चीज़ अपने कस्टमर को सोच के दूँ, उससे बेटर चीज़ मैं बना के दूँ, वो मेरे लिए एक इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ होगी। तो ये एक तीसरी चीज़ है कि आप कस्टमर के ध्यान को रख के काम कर रहे हैं। अच्छा, इसमें कोई प्रीमियम या नॉन प्रीमियम की बात नहीं होती है। नॉन प्रीमियम वाला भी पैसा अपनी जेब का पूरी तरह से देता है और उसको ज़्यादा चिंता होती है अपने मकान के लिए। मैंने कुछ ऐसे प्रोडक्ट बनाए जिसके अंदर मैंने नॉन प्रीमियम वालों को उतनी अच्छी सुविधाएं, उतनी अच्छी इन्वायरमेंट दिया कि जब मैं उस कॉलोनी में अब जाता हूं तो मुझे वो लोग घेर के खड़े होते हैं, कहते हैं साहब मुझे आपने ज़िंदगी में इतनी अच्छी चीज़ दे दी है, ये मेरे लिए बहुत, मेरे परिवार वालों के लिए आपके लिए दुआएं निकलती है। तो ये एक और चीज़, एक चीज़ होती है जिसको कि मैं कहना चाहूँगा कि भाई आप किसी के साथ में भी एक ऐसी चीज़ दें जिससे उसका घर, क्योंकि वो बहुत मुश्किल से पैसा इकट्ठा कर रहा है। प्रीमियम वाला तो 10-5 करोड़ रुपए का मकान खरीदता है, उसके लिए एक मकान या 2 मकान में कोई परेशानी नहीं होती, लेकिन जो 35 लाख, 30 लाख, 40 लाख का मकान खरीदता है वो पूरी अपनी पूंजी लगा देता है। तो उसके लिए भी हमारे दिमाग में ये चीज़ होनी चाहिए कि भाई उसको हम वो चीज़ दें जिससे उससे दुआ आपको मिले। तो ये चीज़ें ऐसी हैं जिनकी वजह से। और जो चौथी चीज़ मैं यंगस्टर्स को बताना चाहूँगा, देखिए पैसा कमाना एक सबका ध्येय होता है, हम भी उसी के लिए आए थे, काम कर रहे हैं, लेकिन क्वालिटी को बनाने के लिए अगर आपका कुछ नुकसान भी होता हो तो वो चीज़ आपको करके देनी चाहिए कि क्वालिटी आपकी बेटर हो, उसमें पैसा थोड़ा कम हो जाता हो। कोई चीज़, मैंने कई चीज़ें ऐसी की हैं जिसमें मैंने तोड़वा दिया। मुझे आज के दिन में मेरे पार्टनर जो है वो जाने नहीं देते प्रोजेक्ट में कि जाके आप जरूर कुछ ना कुछ तोड़वा देंगे, इसलिए मैं आपको नहीं ले जाऊंगा। लेकिन होता क्या है कि मुझे जो चीज़ नहीं अच्छी लगती है या जो चीज़ मुझे लगता है कि जिन वजहों से उस प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर और बेटरमेंट हो सकता है, मैं वो करने की सोचता हूँ। तो यही चीज़ें मैं यंगस्टर्स को बताना चाहूँगा कि इन सारी चीज़ों को अगर आप ध्यान में रखेंगे तो सक्सेस आपके पैरों पे होगी, उसमें कहीं कोई रोक नहीं सकता।
वेरी वेल सेड संजय भाई। मैं आप सबको बताना चाहूँगा, जैसा कि संजय भाई बोल रहे थे अभी, इनका ऐसा मानना है कि हम आज के ज़माने में बात कर रहे हैं, वी आर ऑल्सो इवॉल्विंग। आज से 4-5 साल पहले हमारे कंपनीज में कस्टमर केयर डिपार्टमेंट नहीं होता था, हम कस्टमर कंप्लेंट्स को थोड़ा इंजीनियर लेवल पे निपटाने की बात करते थे। बट अभी समय चेंज हो गया है और इन्होंने बात की कि मैं प्रोजेक्ट में जाके तोड़वा देता हूँ। मुझे मालूम पड़ा कि आप यहाँ तक इस लेवल में कस्टमर सेटिस्फैक्शन की या कस्टमर डिलाइट की बात करते हैं कि यू से कि इवन व्हेन द कस्टमर इज नॉट डिमांडिंग, जब कस्टमर कह नहीं रहा है, ही सेटिस्फाइड विथ वॉट एवर प्रोडक्ट यू हैव गिवन, उसके बाद भी कई बार आपने ऐसा कहा कि नहीं उनको समझ नहीं है कस्टमर को, दिस इज नॉट लुकिंग गुड, दिस इज टू बी रिमूव्ड। तो ये इतना मादा आना ये बहुत बड़ी बात है, वो भी लखनऊ जैसे छोटे शहर में जहाँ डिमांड कम होगी, एक्सपेक्टेशन कम होगी।
आप लखनऊ जैसे शहर के अंदर आज ये जो आप पीछे देख रहे थे, ये 35-40 साल के बाद ये सारी चीजें दिख रही हैं। आज हम 32-32 मंजिल की बिल्डिंगें वहां पे बना रहे हैं। वो सिर्फ इसलिए बना पा रहे हैं क्योंकि मेरे साथ में कस्टमर है, मेरे साथ में मैं जो चीज देता हूं तो वो आदमी ये सोच के देता है कि ये डिलीवर भी होगा और मुझे क्वालिटी भी मिलेगी। उसके लिए ही मैंने ये चीज़ें जो की हुई है, ये धीमे धीमे समय पे जिस तरीके से कोई चीज़ अगर नहीं दी है उसको भी मैंने उनको दिया है, तो दैट हैज गिवन मी दिस पोजीशन।
परफेक्ट संजय भाई, विल कम बैक अगेन। सुशील भाई मर्लिन ग्रुप कोलकाता से हैं, पिछले 3 डिकेड से he is into real estate and he has developed properties in Kolkata, in Pune, in Bhubaneswar, in Raipur, in Ahmedabad, in Colombo, Sri Lanka, and he has done great joint venture development projects also. So please, Sushil bhai, enlighten us with few indicators that helped you in achieving this success.
Well, Jaishankar said to take risk. Seth साहब ने कहा कि good quality, these two are absolutely necessary. But what I feel is that कि particularly for the young developers, I would like to say that you must have quest for learning always. Every day you can learn something. आप कहीं भी जाएं, कोई प्रोजेक्ट देखें, वहाँ कुछ सीखें, कोई आर्टिकल पढ़े, वहाँ कुछ सीखें. So quest for learning should always be there. You know, whatever you are doing, be it architecture, landscape, sustainability, you need to update your knowledge always. To do a good job, you must have good knowledge, and knowledge gives you power. Learning comes from your failure. I always believe that you must reward your failure and do not celebrate success. Every failure is a step to success. The failure teaches you more, and success will make you blind. You can learn from your own failure, and a smart person will learn from others' failure too. तो सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ ये है कि भाई आप गलती आप जरूर करें, लेकिन वो गलती रिपीट ना होए. तो learn from your failures, learn from others' failure. Another important aspect I feel is niyat, your intention. Seth साहब ने कहा जैसे अभी कि भाई he always believe in giving best to his customer. So we must have the good intention of achieving the aspirations of our customers. You must under commit and over deliver. आप वादा करें 20 चीज का, दीजिए उसे 23 चीज, 24 चीज, तो ओवर डिलीवर. उससे आपके पास रिपीट कस्टमर आएंगे, उससे आपकी साख बनेगी मार्केट में, गुडविल बनेगी आपकी. देन एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट सब्जेक्ट है रियल एस्टेट में कि आपका व्यवहार, आपका पब्लिक रिलेशन. रियल एस्टेट इज अ बिजनेस ऑफ रिलेशनशिप. पब्लिक रिलेशन डजंट मीन जस्ट relationship with some bureaucrats or some politicians. You require relationship at all level. Be it social relationship with, people beyond your business circle, artists. Like I maintain relationship in Calcutta even with the film artist, with the artist, with bureaucrats, with junior officers like WBCS officers who are, at the third level of their you see, the top maybe the chief secretary and then below. So I believe in making those relationships with them also. Relationship with your customers, with your landlord, bankers is very important. And the relationship will only be maintained if you are honest. If your intent is honest, if you are honest with your deeds, what you promise, you deliver, what you commit, you do. So that honesty is required, and that will pay you back. That will pay you immensely. What you invest, you will get multifold time. Financial discipline. This is very important. We developers, number of time get swayed by those Excel sheets, rosy Excel sheets, 10-acre land into 3-time FSI, free FSI, this, car parking, super built up, this, that, sale value, construction cost, itna profit. But what we forget, to maintain that cash flows, periodical cash flows, if the market is not favorable and you don't get sales, then what happens? And now with the RERA, you need to be much more disciplined. So financial prudence and discipline is very important in real estate. You see companies like Unitech failed just because of not having financial discipline. It was a great company, their quality was very good. When they were working in Delhi, when they started, I saw some of their early projects in 97, 98. But because in the greed of over-expansion, overnight expansion, and with this Excel sheets which their executive produced, that, sir, we should bid for this project and we'll get this much of sales and this much of revenue. So all those, just settled. So you must understand the reality also, that how you are going to achieve that. What you are planning, there must be a way forward how you are going to achieve, how you will maintain your financial planning, financial closure, and complete that project. So these are few things which I thought that young developers have to understand. We have a lot of stalwarts. They don't need any lesson. They all are successful. Rather, they can give you more points. But I thought that these are some points which developer can understand.
Definitely, Sushil bhai. Very insightful and very well said. Sushil bhai, you have been working in so many cities. Generally, we have seen real estate to be a very regional subject. Most of the developers are focused or concentrated in their respective regions, like north or south or east or west. But we have seen you have been doing work in Pune, Chennai, as I said, in Kolkata, in Raipur, in Colombo. Overseas also you worked. So how was this work experience? Like, is it worth it to expand north, south, east, west, or you should concentrate in one region or two region maybe? How was the experience? Do you suggest our other developers to follow this path, or you have some learnings behind this mistakes or some good thing?
Well, I have very bitter learnings. I must say that you should not expand like that. What we did, if I have to redo it again, or if I am 15 years back, the clock is set 15 years back, I wouldn't have done it. If your geography has got enough business, restrict to that. And if you have reached to a saturation level, like if you have more family members or brothers or partners, and you think that, two people can manage it, there two people can do something else, then think of some other geography. Because real estate is a very difficult subject. Each geography has got its own challenges. Each geography has got different bylaws. The customer mindset is different. You need to create an identity which takes a lot of time. You need to create a track record which takes a lot of time. So amongst various geography we worked, we were only successful in Calcutta, Bhubaneswar, and now Pune. Pune my son is handling. But I had very bitter relations also. I had very good office, very efficient office in Ahmedabad, but because that geography is different, there developers work in paper-thin margin, there are a lot of informal money in that market, so we were not successful. In Colombo, we did a marquee project, but the economy is not in your control. It's a foreign country. So I would like to say that unnecessary just to think that I want to become a pan-India player and then you ruin your own, whatever you are doing in your city is not a good advice. Fortunately, we always maintained our 80-90% business in Calcutta. We just did some expansion, and with the mindset that even if that money is get stuck, still it will not affect us. So there was no negative impact on this. Yes, there was a good learning. I made a lot of friends across the country. That was the only takeaway. And with that learning now, we are restricting only ourselves to Calcutta and Pune.
Thank you, Sushil bhai, for what a insightful statement you gave for all of us.
Learning from mistakes.
Yeah. This is power of a platform like New India Summit and Varanasi Summit, where we all developers can understand from the mistakes of our senior developers. Thanks for that statement, Sushil bhai. Coming back to Mr. Jaishankar again. Sir, from a traditional real estate company, brick and mortar company, started in 1986 from a very humble beginning. Now we have seen like you have entered, your company has entered into prop tech also. What I know is more than 40 startups you have invested in, your company has invested in. Your daughter Nirupma is taking care of that. So how is this journey of prop tech? Because prop tech is a new subject. I think very few developers sitting here or are involved in it. And we all understand prop tech is the next in thing. So what is your take on that? How was this experience? What our developers can learn from this?
Thank you. It's an initiative of my daughter, who is, Nirupa, who is not here. We started PropTech not with money in mind or business in mind. We started PropTech primarily because we felt the real estate or the construction sector is least technologically advanced. And there is something, a contribution we need to make by encouraging a technology or bring technology into the real estate sector. And we started, of course, before PropTech, we also got into precast construction ourselves. We are probably the first developer in the country to do precast ourselves, not to give it to a contractor. We have done maybe about 3,000 apartments and 4 million square feet in precast. But most developers, do business with a 10 to 15% margin, unless, with the exception of few cities, maybe Mumbai, Delhi, could be different. And unless you have land at historical cost, the margins are in the range what I mentioned, 10 to 15% or so. Whereas precast is a very expensive thing because of the standards one need to maintain, and it costs, in my opinion, it costs almost 15 to 20% more than conventional construction, including aluminum shuttering. With the result, all the money will go in following making the investment and I would say following the code of whatever standards. So we got out of precast, but technology in construction is required not necessarily in construction alone, in all the related fields, whether it is in conservation of water, whether it is in a project management, or in the being in sustainable, like we supported a company called EcoSTP, which is now internationally recognized. And or CRE metrics, which most people in commercial real estate use CRE metrics. It is again accelerated and supported by Brigade. That way, overall, about 64 startups we have supported, and many of them have done wonderfully well, able to raise finance, come up, contribute to the sector in different ways. One painting company was acquired by Asian Paints, a startup, and a few others were acquired by Square Yards. Like that, number of companies have been acquired. We help them raise finance also where required. And out of 64 companies, I would say 75% of them are successful and contributing to the property sector by bringing in technology. And every year we have 2 batches, and about 6 startups to 8 startups. We coach them for about 16 weeks in each for each batch. So that way we feel it is our contribution to the property sector. Sometimes we also end up making money by taking equity, but the purpose itself was not to make money in the first place. It is a contribution to the sector.
That's a great initiative, sir. I know this platform is, we have little less time for discussing more about it, but if you allow, in the interest of all the developers, can we take permission from you regarding, can we have a site visit of group of developers to Bangalore and study and learn more by your daughter, Nirupma, regarding PropTech and understand more about it, sir?
Certainly, most welcome, most welcome. In quite recently, every 16 weeks, we do, when the startups graduate, we also invite quite a few other developers and, recognize them and to say more about the startups and their work. So that way, anytime they're most welcome.
Thank you, thanks a lot.
I'm happy to say, 3 years back, I think in 2019, Government of India considered Brigade REAP, it is called, Real Estate Accelerator Program. REAP stands for that. So, Government of India considered Brigade REAP as the best accelerator in the country. And we were awarded 10 lakh first prize.
That's great. That's really very inspiring. And looking forward to coming to Bangalore with a group of developers, sir.
Sure.
So, from a small company, Brigade is a very known name now in the entire India. How you transformed this small business into a big empire today, and what are the organizational efficiency? We, as a developer, daily we see there's lack of efficiencies and a lot of things to be improved, and it takes a lot of effort. How you could transform in this 37 years to such a big empire, sir? Most of the developers sitting here, they want to be like Brigade, they want to be like Merlin, they want to be like Shalimar. What is the mantra of that? How you transformed it into a big empire?
No, I repeat, people who are sitting here, they're all successful people. Each one has their own method of success. And, in my, as far as I can say, is it is dedication to whatever responsibility one has taken. I think today's Times of India also has an article on Narayan Murthy, Mr. Narayan Murthy of Infosys, and the kind of dedication that he had towards the company. I think his children spoke about it. So it is all about dedication. But having said that, what is required for success to grow big and also to make every organization an institution? So the desire, my desire is any company should survive beyond our lifetime. It should, for generations, for it to continue, what is required is very good processes. Processes are the ones which can take companies from one leadership to another leadership. And that is the secret of success of most multinational companies. If you say whether it's an audit company or whether it's a manufacturing company working in 10 different countries, or if Merlin Group is doing business in Colombo also, they must be having some solid processes for it to succeed in different geographies. So that way, as far as Brigade is concerned, in order to bring in the systems and processes, in 1996, we opted for ISO certification. ISO is all about doing the things the same way, time after time. It's doing things the right every time, or doing things in a particular fashion every time. That is what ISO is. That brings people together in the organization. And again, in terms of some kind of systems and processes, we got into SAP as early as 2006. It's almost 18, 19 years back we got into SAP. That also brought in a lot of systems and speed in your assessment of your functioning, and you're giving much more delegation of authority is possible by introducing SAP and other software. So these are some of the things I can say.
So thinking ahead of time and having a vision of that business is for generations, I think this is really a very big takeaway. Now on a little lighter tone, I've heard music is very close to your heart. You listen to quite a number of Hindi songs. And so much so that you have developed a music museum in one of your townships. So how do you get time from your busy schedule for music, and what led to the setup of this music museum?
I would say, see, the catchword today is the work-life balance, and it is not only about work. So from that angle, it is again a way of being socially responsible. You can say corporate CSR or philanthropy, whatever you call it. So it all started once when I went to Seattle on work. So post-work, you try to be a tourist and see a few things. And I went to a Frank Gehry museum. Frank Gehry is one of the big architects museum. And that museum was on one artist called Jimi Hendrix. And it was promoted by Paul Allen of Microsoft, one of the founders of Microsoft. So it was a large museum. So I said, if someone can make a museum for one artist, such things, India with its rich culture of maybe thousands of years of background and with various types of music, be it Hindustani or Carnatic or several other types of music, why can't we have a museum for Indian music? At that time when so I would say did some work, I noticed there is not a single museum for Indian music as such. So that is how the idea started somewhere around 2008, 2009. And it was took almost 8 to 9 years to make the museum. It was far more difficult than many real estate projects, And when we completed this, it received again, Government of India recognition, financial support, Government of Karnataka financial support, and several corporates. And what is nice thing is the Grammy Museum of Los Angeles, where when they visited, they also wanted to have a sister museum relationship with our museum, what is called as Indian Music Experience in Bangalore. And today it is in TripAdvisor, it is the top 3 places for Bangalore, for any tourist to visit. And I think ultimately it gave me a lot of satisfaction of creating this and contribution to the society.
That's really very inspiring. A CREDAI developer building a music museum in Bangalore, which is top 3 in Bangalore to must visit for a tourist in Bangalore. Baman bhai, this is a takeaway for all of us who are just thinking about planting trees, who are thinking about scaling, or thinking about green buildings. There's beyond that we can do for the society, for the culture of India. Thank you very much, Mr. Jaishankar, for that. Coming back again to Sanjay bhai. संजय भाई, आप 2 रोल प्ले कर रहे हैं एक साथ, और मुझे लगता है कि दोनों ही बहुत डिफिकल्ट हैं. मैं आमतौर पर यही सुनता आया हूं कि बिजनेसमैन को राजनीति में कभी नहीं आना चाहिए, या राजनीतिज्ञ को कभी बिजनेस में नहीं आना चाहिए. बट आप एक बहुत ही सक्सेसफुल राज्यसभा सदस्य रहे, बीजेपी के एक्टिव मेंबर हैं, बहुत ही सक्सेसफुल डेवलपर हैं, टियर 2-3 टाउन लखनऊ में और भी कई जगह आप डेवलप कर रहे हैं. तो ये कैसे मैनेज कर लेते हैं आप? हम तो पॉलिटिशियंस को हम लोग शायद घबराते हैं थोड़ा डील करने में, आप दोनों रोल प्ले कर रहे हैं इतने अच्छे से.
देखिए, ऐसा है कि माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी की जो प्रेरणा हम लोगों को मिल रही है, उसमें काम करने के लिए हम लोगों को जनता के लिए काम करना है. तो अब बिजनेस में जहाँ मेरा डे टू डे का तो अब रोल नहीं रह गया है, मेरे साथ में मेरे साथी लोग हैं. और दूसरी चीज़ ये कि जो अभी भाई साहब बता रहे थे कि रोल डेलीगेट करने का काम है, उसकी वजह से काम बड़े इजी हो गए हैं, सारे लोग अपनी अपनी जिम्मेदारी को निभा रहे हैं. तो मुझे समय मिल गया है अब राजनीति करने का. अब राजनीति का वर्ड सिर्फ राजनीति नहीं है, राजनीति का वर्ड इस वक्त जनता की सेवा है, देश की सेवा है. देश के अंदर हम लोगों को अपने कल्चर को, अपने धार्मिक सिस्टम को, अपनी सारी नीचे से ऊपर उठाने की ज़िंदगी को काम करने के लिए मुझे प्रेरणा दी जा रही है, और जिसके ऊपर मैं रेगुलर काम कर रहा हूं. तो समय निकालना, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी से मैं एक बार मिला था उनके ऑफिस में, तो मैंने कहा साहब आपके पास तो समय नहीं रहता है. कल जो ये कहता है कि समय नहीं रहता है वो गलत कहता है, समय निकालने से निकलता है. तो वही चीज़ मैं आपसे कहना चाहूँगा कि राजनीति के लिए या बिजनेस के लिए मेरे पास पूरा समय रहता है, और मैं दोनों चीज़ों को बहुत अच्छी तरह से निभा रहा हूँ. जहाँ तक बिजनेस का सवाल है, वहाँ मेरी चीज़ें बहुत मेरे लिए हल्की हो चुकी हैं, लेकिन पॉलिटिक्स में मैं अभी बिल्कुल नया हूं, तो इसलिए उसमें मेहनत करनी पड़ रही।
बहुत बढ़िया। तो हम आपको एक आदर्श मानते हुए शायद राजनीति में हमारे कुछ साथी आना चाहें, क्योंकि राजनीति और रियल एस्टेट थोड़ा काइंड ऑफ चोली दामन का साथ है, बहुत काम पड़ता है। यस यस, ऑफ कोर्स इट इज अ लिटिल कॉम्बिनेशन। तो यूपी में आज बहुत अच्छा प्रेजेंटेशन काशी के ऊपर यहाँ के एसीएस ने दिया, और हम सब बड़े इम्प्रेस थे कि ही वाज टॉकिंग लाइक अ एंटरप्रेन्योर, इनवाइटिंग ऑल ऑफ अस, लेटिंग अस नो अबाउट यूपी. यूपी वाज known फॉर ऑल द bad things in earlier past days, but ये इतना बड़ा transformation, he used the word, we are racing against time, we are trying to develop 59 cities master plan by February. तो ये सब इतना transformative thing सोचना होना, ये आपको लग रहा है कि बहुत जल्द होने वाला है, और ये इससे हमारे डेवलपर्स को भी फायदा होगा?
जी बिल्कुल सही बात है। पिछले 7 साल से 6.5 साल से जब से हमारे माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी योगी आदित्यनाथ जी आए हैं, उन्होंने आज बॉम्बे में या बेंगलोर में बैठे हुए आदमी को जब टीवी देखता था तो उसको ये लगता था कि उत्तर प्रदेश के अंदर केवल क्राइम ही क्राइम चारों तरफ दिख रहा है। जब से वो आए हैं, उन्होंने इस क्राइम की दुनिया को यहाँ से जड़ से निकाल के फेंक दिया है। आज ना कोई माफिया यहाँ पे दिखेगा आपको, ना कोई आपसे वसूली करने वाला दिखेगा। छोटे से छोटा क्रिमिनल भी यहाँ से या तो भाग गया है या जेल के अंदर है। तो जो एक आदमी को सुरक्षा की भावना मिली है, उसकी वजह से यहाँ पे डेवलपर्स, इन्वेस्टर्स अपनी लाइन लगा के खड़े हैं कि हम यहाँ पे इन्वेस्ट करें। हम लोगों का जो 1 ट्रिलियन का अभी नितिन जी ने बताया था कि 1 ट्रिलियन इकॉनमी का हम लोगों का जो लक्ष्य है वो बहुत आसानी से पूरा होगा, क्योंकि हम लोगों के जो इन्वेस्टर समिट्स हुए हैं, उन सारे इन्वेस्टर समिट्स में अगर आप देखें तो इतने ज़्यादा लोगों का इंटरेस्ट दिख रहा है, और सबने MOU साइन किए हैं कि यहाँ पे काम आपको अगले 3 साल में यहाँ पे इंडस्ट्री के ही सारे रूप में सारे लोग, रोजगार, पैसा सब यहीं दिखेगा।
क्या बात है। तो डू यू थिंक कि हम लोग बाकी प्रदेश से जो डेवलपर्स यहाँ आए हैं वो यूपी में कुछ पॉसिबिलिटी, अपॉर्चुनिटी देखते हैं?
देखिए, ऐसा है, सबसे बड़ी यूपी एक पूरा स्टेट जो है सबसे बड़ा स्टेट है और पॉपुलेशन की वाइज से है, तो सबको मकान चाहिए यहाँ पे। और यहाँ पे जिस तरीके से ईज ऑफ बिजनेस है उसको अगर देखें तो आपके लिए आज आप कहीं पे भी, जैसे हमारे प्रमुख सचिव साहब ने बताया कि यहाँ पे नक्शों के लिए हम लोगों ने इतना अच्छा सिस्टम कर दिया है कि आप आर्किटेक्ट ही साइन कर देगा और आपके नक्शे पास हो जाएंगे, जो कि मुझे नहीं लगता किसी और स्टेट में ऐसा है। तो ये सारी चीज़ें जब आपको यहाँ दिखेंगी तो कोई भी इन्वेस्टर को यहाँ पे आके, किसी भी डेवलपर को यहाँ आके, क्योंकि उसके पास यहाँ पे रेडीमेड मार्केट है, उस मार्केट के अंदर आपको सिर्फ प्रोडक्ट अपने अच्छे से अच्छे डालने हैं, लेकिन करना कानून के अंदर ही होगा। बिना कानून के बाहर आप यहाँ काम नहीं कर सकते।
नहीं, बहुत अच्छी बात कही संजय भाई ने। हम अगर डेवलपर्स यहाँ आना चाहें तो डेफिनेटली देयर इज अपॉर्चुनिटी इन यूपी, बट मुझे लगता है कि एक सेकंड एस्पेक्ट ये है कि हम अगर यूपी से यहाँ के एसीएस साहब को अपने स्टेट में इनवाइट करें और अपने मिनिस्टर्स के सामने उनका प्रेजेंटेशन दें, तो वो एक बहुत ट्रांसफॉर्मेटिव थिंग होगी, और वी विल टेक हेल्प ऑफ संजय भाई इफ दैट इज रिक्वायर्ड। एंड वी आर टुवर्ड्स द एंड ऑफ द सेशन, एंड आई विल बी आस्किंग द लास्ट क्वेश्चन टू सुशील भाई। सुशील भाई, यहाँ बहुत सारे यंग डेवलपर्स हैं, एंड यूथ CREDAI is doing great. They are very enthusiastic, and I think with we all people who are working for CREDAI from past 25 years, it's the time to hand over the command to them. आपने बहुत ब्यूटीफुली साकेत मोहता जो MD है मर्लिन ग्रुप के, आपने बहुत प्यार से ब्यूटीफुली पिछले 5-7 साल 10 साल में आई हैव सीन कि अपनी कमान उनको दी है साकेत को। तो हाउ वाज दिस जर्नी एंड हाउ वाज दिस मेंटरिंग थिंग? क्योंकि काफ़ी चैलेंजिंग लगता है एज ए, जब मैं ना बॉय जॉइंस फ्रॉम द फैमिली और द गर्ल जॉइन फ्रॉम द फैमिली बिजनेस, और उसे समझाना कि कैसे एडजस्ट करना है इन दिस एटमॉस्फेयर, एंड व्हाट वाज द एक्सपीरियंस, हाउ यू मेंटर्ड हिम एंड हाउ द थिंग्स आर गोइंग?
I think this is one of the most challenging thing and most in our lives, you know, a transformation. Transformation is always challenging. So there is always a psychological problem that we always resist the change. We are not ready to accept the change, but change is inevitable. See, I learned this from my late father. When I was at the age of 20, I joined business. In 2-3 years' time, I started, regular business. And I did not realize when I came on driving seat and he switched to the navigator seat very smoothly and always supportive, always encouraging. Any advice he wanted to give very subtly with some examples. So we had a wonderful chemistry. And when my son grew, when he joined business, so I thought that I must do the same thing. So slowly he came on driving seat. I come on navigator seat. So I now play very strategic roles only. The system, processes for the company, compliances, overall financial discipline, and most important, public relation with everybody. So I gave him his space and he grew. I allowed him to do his mistakes because I believe that mistakes are the best teacher. I believe that everybody has right to do his own mistakes and to learn from there. So I can say that net result is that, okay, he may be doing business in a little different way, which I wouldn't have done. But the net result, you have to see that my company, when he joined, the turnover is now 10x. Our sales are 10x in 8 years' time. So that's the net result. So we must give youngsters their enough space that they can work freely, encourage them, give them free hand, and develop the system process in the company so they work according to those system and processes. That way, they will develop and they will do much better than us. That's what I believe in.
Great insight again. I think all the daddies sitting here, we have a cue now that we have to give. If we want to take company into 10x path, 10x of the business we want to give again the company, give the command to the next generation. That's a wonderful learning. Friends, we are almost 5-10 minutes delay with the session. I will not take much of the time. Our friends, our seniors are here with us tomorrow also, I believe. So Sanjay bhai, Jaishankar ji and Sushil Mohta will be here. हम उनसे कभी भी बात कर सकते हैं and we can reach out to them. But definitely this session was very enriching for all of us. We have learned that business is for generations. We have learned that new boundaries, we have to be a little cautious about going to new boundaries, and the new generation has to take up task. And we have learned about customer centricity in the core sense, in the core essence, from the institution itself of customer service. With this, I would like to end this session and request Vimiji to take the takeover. Thank you very much, friends.
थैंक यू टू ऑल द स्पीकर्स। और हमारे दिग्गज और कद्दावर नेताओं को सम्मानित करने के लिए मैं मंच पर आमंत्रित करती हूँ गौरव गुप्ता, प्रणव प्रधान और धवल अजमेरा। And ladies and gentlemen, I think lot of learnings from this session. सभी ने विकास की अपनी परिभाषा हमारे सामने रखी। Ethics, morality, transparency, accountability, being customer-centric, evolving yourself, and that is where learning and continuous learning, updating yourself, upskilling, defining your processes. It is about taking risk. It is about falling and then again bouncing back. Seeing the purpose in life, and your purpose in life is much more than what you perceive. It is about dedication, it is about winning the trust and earning the respect of your customers. And where there is will, there is definitely a way. So define your own boundaries and also look into these, crossing these boundaries and unlimited opportunities and possibilities which exist.